Shalom, Makim.
Shalom.
We would like to start off by giving our honor and glory to
Yahweh, Hashem,
we also want to give double honor to our elder apostles, elder bishops of Great Millstone Ruel, as well as peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. We are at an undisclosed location on our New Moon ministry, and today the Spirit wants us to go into our culture is a heritage that has been passed down. All right. If a brother could look at the etymology of the word heritage, all right. Here it comes, bro.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 6, verse 16. It said, "Thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the ways and see, and ask for the old paths, where is a good way, and walk therein, and you shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein."
Hey, where's that good way, man? Our heritage, which is our way of life, is that good way, man. And it's more than just, wearing fringes, which I'm not going to demonize wearing fringes. It's a beautiful thing, all right? But it's beyond that. You got to peel our layers back and see that our core existence goes back to the old ways, man. The food that we eat, the music that we listen to, the incense, the resins, all right? So, yeah, how we dress, the way our beards are, the way our hair is, the fasting, all right, the cleansing, all right? It's all going back to the old ways, man. All right? It all goes back to that heritage that has been passed down to us, okay? Go ahead, brother.
In 2 Ezra 2:2, thus saith the Lord, I brought this people out of bondage, and I gave them my commandments by men servants the prophets,
Yep.
whom they would not hear, but despised my counsels. That good way you talk.
That good way. But our people was like a woman. It tells you in Ezekiel, the 36th chapter, was it 16? The 16th, the water. The nation of Israel was like to a woman that was infatuated with the Canaanite culture. So she was born into the good way. She was born into a privileged, well-established kingdom. But she had an infatuation with the streets.
Michael Irvin.
Yeah, Michael Irvin's son. His whole little persona was kept because he was born into the good way. All right, he was raised up under his father. All right, so our people had an infatuation with degeneracy because one thing about degeneracy is the feeling. Growing up watching street culture, you see Jake with a bunch of money in his hand. You see revealing scantily apparel women. All right, it's appealing to the eyes. The respect they got. And then you see the lifestyle of the old way. It's solitary. It's reclusive. It's quiet. It's boring to certain people. So of course, with youthful eyes, you're going to be enchanted by the degeneracy in your youth. All right. Go ahead, hold on. I got you.
It's Deuteronomy chapter 6, starting at verse 6. These words which I command thee this day shall be in thy heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children. They shall talk of them, thou sittest in thy house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou risest up. By doing this, you teaching your children teaching their children, and so on and so forth, and carrying that heritage with them, a righteous heritage.
We had a relic of that. Some of us had great-grandmothers or grandmothers that could sew quilts. All right, who taught them that? And the mother that taught them, who taught her that? All right, some of our mothers or great-grandmothers were Creole, all right, were Gadites, all right, were Reubenites, and they know all type of natural remedies, man. So just how the quilt making and the herbal remedies can be passed down, the laws are really supposed to be passed down. So that's why he has to call a lineage. But no, that's a little mod useful to bring out the scripture.
No, because I got the definition of heritage and etymology.
Come on, because it goes right for this.
This is heritage in the etymology. That which may be inherited, heir, inheritance, ancestral estate.
And the key word was heir. Because if you look at the word heritage, the word heritage has the key word heir. And the heir has something passed down to it. So what do we have passed down to us? The laws, the statutes, the commandments, our oral history, all right? And the way I know it's so potent, when I was like first, second grade, I had a music teacher. I think her name was Mrs. Porter. She taught us so many songs that go back to the plantation. All right, and I remember some of those songs vividly. And she showed us the visual books, like the Runaway Railway, called the Underground Railroad. She taught us certain methods that Jake used to escape. Miriam 7 years old, 8 years old. But the fact that it was taught orally and we were all sitting in a circle surrounding her, this is the way, man. It was like an example of the old way, man. And it was instilled in me. So how much more our laws, our ways, and your father breaking down King David, man. Not just us reading it, but like your father telling the story as though he was there. When you watch the movie 300, you had that one soldier who survived with the scarred eye. He was able to tell the story, man, to the new Spartans, you know. All right. Was there more to that, brother?
No, one more piece.
All right.
Condition or state transmitted from ancestors.
Woo! It said transmitted from ancestors.
Right. And this is also a condition. So through your ancestors, you get programmed. And that's one of the reasons why Esau wanted to break up our families and things of that nature to assist with destroying that knowledge base, the spiritual knowledge base, that program. You know, he hacked it. He hacked coach.
Just so we could get cross-engineered.
Right.
You know, or reverse, however you say it. Reverse engineered. Take us out of the Hebrew state and put us in a degeneracy state. All right. He took the John Amos image out and replaced it with NBA Youngboy or Lil Durk, right? So the average Jake that's 4 or 5 years old, he's looking at Lil Durk now. And that's his new image of himself, man. Go ahead, brother.
Hey,
No, go ahead,
Can I
brother.
bring out another definition? Because brother had mentioned, I think you did, Priest, Michael Irvin said.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and this is a definition for enchantment, act of magic or witchcraft, use of magic, magic power, magical spell, song, concert, choir, bewitched.
They song concert. Because the reason why Michael Irvin's son wants to live their lifestyle, because he's been enchanted by the chorus of their music. That's why each song has the same format. You have a verse, then you have the chorus, and the chorus is repetitive. They have a verse, and then they constantly repeating it. Then now they're screaming, so you're constantly hearing it when you're out in public. Like really, nigga music is like the soundtrack, like birds and different things. Is really the soundtrack. Like, but nigga music is the soundtrack to our people, man, to where they're enchanted to try to live like that. Man.
You know what, brother, since you said that, it affects your subconscious.
Yeah.
Because your subconscious is more than anything. You know, if you think about an iceberg, you only see 10% of that iceberg, but the 90% is your subconscious. You know, and that's the reason why basically Esau programs the music, programs the commercials, programs the videos, because according to the subconscious, since we're on it, some say that the subconscious mind can be reprogrammed to help people make changes in their lives. Others say that working with the subconscious mind can help people address the root of psychological issues rather than just treating the surface. So by programming your subconscious, eventually, you know, basically it'll take over your present conscious. That's why if you're driving, sometimes you go in a trance and you don't even remember driving from, let's say, from work to your household, because your subconscious mind has taken over.
I think they call that time gap theory.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. And that's what Esau does. So he targets the subconscious because eventually it's going to take over your present mental state.
And he does it through repetition.
Yup.
From the time you're a baby to the time you're 7, that's your window of being malleable and programmed.
Mm-hmm.
You got a 7-year. Was it the Jesuit priest said, "Give me a child till he's the age of 7, and I help him for the rest of his life."
Mm-hmm.
So after year 7, everything else is repetition. That's why we all know the English language.
Hey, can I say something
Yep.
more? It also says the subconscious mind monitors information and decides what to send the conscious mind and what to store. And that's why Bruce Lee say, don't say you stupid or you crazy, because that's affecting your subconscious mind.
And it shows you, if I can add real
Yeah, go
quick,
ahead.
that's how the scriptures say, then they should know a prophet was among them.
Right.
Because even though they don't remember what we're saying, the Lord can draw it out their subconscious. Because if they heard it, it's in them. You know what I'm saying? That's why they know a prophet gonna be like, they gonna remember they in that exact situation. And the Lord can draw out when the prophet spoke about that situation. And be like, dang.
That's why it's called a new song.
Yeah.
What we're singing, and it's repetitive. So we keep repeating it, but like the elders getting into, Edom has done that to our people, you know. But you got it.
Hey, and if I can say, and it also shows the importance of the structure of the household, man. Because, you know, if the order that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua set forth when it comes to the man, the woman, and children, the women will be programming and grooming their children to a certain age, you know what I'm saying? Because when you send them to these daycares, you know, daycares, you got them beginners in their upbringing and raise your children while you at work, then they go to pre-K, kindergarten, first grade, so on and so forth. Esau has already started grooming their minds to be molded into degeneracy, man. So that's why it's important that the laws, the statutes, how about me outside, and the order thereof should be set place in the household of Israel.
And speaking of winter and program means the right before. Pro means before. Gram goes back to draw, right? Grammar. Yeah. It's another one too. Like, yeah, but you said it. Part of their programming is the figure. You talk about the mother from the program, the daughter, right? Well, the mother being in her order, that's the image is being programmed into the daughter. The image is more powerful than words itself. She's seeing it. Her frame of reference of a woman is a covered up woman.
The program to right forward.
Right forth.
To right forward.
Right, their ground goes back to right, like you said, your grammar. So,
Go ahead, bro. Yeah, I got something for you. This is something they use in therapy. It's called shadow work. Shadow work involves working with your unconscious mind to uncover the parts of yourself that you repress and hide from yourself. All the stuff, all the stuff y'all you retain, as y'all was saying, don't come out. But it's gonna come out more like something happens. It comes out in a trauma or something like when you melancholic or you remember something, it comes out.
I notice it comes out when you fast too. Or it comes out when you let go of certain habits or whatever, and you just dealing with, when you withdraw from the world, you start to reflect on your subconscious. Those underlying issues.
And that's what this truth does. It helps unveil these repressed issues. Basically everything that Esau has hidden from us, everything we went through the scriptures, it brings it to light. And the only way you can get through something, you have to acknowledge that problem, accept that problem. That's what the scripture does.
Just a quick point on, the preacher Malik going to about that cultural norm. It goes into like four different categories. Esau has weaponized music for their agenda, for the elites, So one of them is called subliminal messaging, cultural control. I'll read more into cultural control. It said music has always had a significant influence on society, shaping cultural norms and values.
Like Ishmael doesn't listen to music. In Islamic culture, they don't listen to instrumental music. Somebody say they don't listen to that. Because they know that shit's programmed. Go ahead, bro.
Conspiracy theorists argue that those in power have intentionally promoted specific genres and artists that promote messages and behaviors advantageous to them. By controlling which artists become popular and what kind of messages are propagated, powerful forces can mold society's mindset and control the narrative.
And that goes into your subconscious. If I could just add, the subconscious, it stores our beliefs and values, determines our memories, and monitors the information all around us, deciding what to send to the conscious mind, meaning your present mind, and what to store for later. That's right.
And the other is going to sonic warfare. In recent years, there is growing speculation that certain musical frequencies can be used as weapons, affecting human physiology and mental state. For instance, it is believed that specific low-frequency sounds can induce feelings of fear, anxiety, or even physical discomfort.
Yeah, because the elites deal with frequencies. And you was always going into it. At first, the music was being played at 432 hertz. But the elites had to play it on what? I think it's 440. 440, yeah. And that's already like a survival mode, fight, flight frequency, man. And the earth itself, it exists on a frequency. I think it's 7 hertz. But it's called the resonance frequency. But the earth is at the frequency of itself.
Yeah,
man.
that's more. It's peaceful.
It's peaceful. You know?
The so-called German, he did that too. He changed the hertz from, you just said, to 432, I think, or 432
to 439.
Yeah, something
Something like that. 440.
Yeah.
All right.
This is real quick. Ezekiel 28 and verse 3. Behold, you are wiser than Daniel.
Yeah, because this man, because you always going to the psyche. And you mentioned the word psychology. That's your soul. So he targets your subconscious, man. And you target someone's subconscious with repetition. All right.
Well, hey, back in Ezekiel 28:3, behold, you are wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from
So
you.
you was basically going into the account with Daniel. Basically, Daniel was running the empire. But it says Edom is wiser than Daniel. So this man really got into the dark science, man. All right? Because Jake really came up with their Freemason thing back during the Dark Ages. Esau took that. All right? So you really got into the dark science. You really got into the psyche. Because Ham was into the dark science first because they understood the pineal gland. So they understood the psyche back then. So Esau got it and amplified it. He got it and mastered it.
What they say, Revelation 18, and in Babylon was found the souls of men. Like Babylon, a big trap.
Yep.
And Daniel, because this man, you know, he manages from a neurological standpoint.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he really is attacking people, you know, neurologically, man.
Like I say, that's why Esau made it his business to take over and have full control over your music, your media outlets, social media, your food, because he know once he get you consuming these things, and then brother was speaking on how it's being repetitive, he can constantly push out these songs. He can constantly push out this death food. He can continue to push out anything that's gonna contribute or contribute to his agenda, man. Way of frequency, you know what I'm saying? Murder music, death food. Because this man is he's a man of death, man. He's anti-life.
Back here from Southern Warfare again says conspiracy theorists claim that these frequency weapons are used to manipulate crowds during protests or riots, influencing the intensity and behavior of the participants.
We can't act like we hadn't read about HARP, High Frequency Active Rural Research Program. And I remember reading about HARP, and it was going into how he could turn the frequency up in certain demographics and create balance in certain demographics. It's just no coincidence in all these urban cities where Jake lives, Jake is just violent, man. You know? All right.
Proverbs 12:26. The righteous is more insolent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduces them.
And now we're going into the different components of the seduction, ultimately through the culture. So his sorcery is really within our culture, man. So-called black culture. You got Kamala Harris, right? Who is she bringing during her conventions?
Cardi B.
Cardi B, Glorilla, Megan, Migo, because these are the figures that the Israelites follow. But they control the figures. They control the puppets. Just like in another country, they'll implant a puppet leader, but America controls the puppet. Well, the puppets here is our leaders that are puppets are musicians, they're artists, athletes.
Got you, bro. This is Genesis 25 and 27. When the boys grew and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field.
Wait a minute. In Revelation, it said that in Babylon was the souls of men
That's right.
or human lives, but he trapped them. So Esau, going back to Esau being a cunning hunter, he was able to trap you through trapping your mind. All of our minds at one point in time was in the snare or the trap of Esau. He all had our minds. There's a particular herb called devil's claw, but that name reminds me of Esau. We were all in the claw of the devil, man. All right?
Then when you think about that, a man of the field, you can also equate the field to the world.
Yep.
You know, so also for hunter, the Strong's H6718 pronounced as Tazayan, and it goes into to hunt eagerly or keenly, take provision, also figuratively for me.
Wait a minute. Does not it say, is it, brother can help me out, how it said, she sold herself to other nations? Or she bought other nations?
So they for witchcraft.
Yeah, she sold her horror to nations. Yeah, the water, because, you know, to be a seller is almost like you're hunting. Like if you're a salesman and you're looking at people, you're strategically looking at them like you're a hunter. And then when you get a sale from them, it's like you got to kill.
That's right.
So you baited the nations through westernization. In turn, you got their resources. You know, you baited the nation through religion, and in turn, you got their resources, man. So that goes back to that cunning hunter. But it also goes back to Revelation. In her contains the lives of men. You control the minds. And anybody that's westernized under a spell.
Yet the other nations basically were tricked. You know, I mean, you think about it, going back to Revelation where it says about our sorceries were all nations deceived.
Yeah.
But getting into that witchcraft, man.
Which goes back to you being a hunter.
Yep.
Because if I put a fake worm on a hook, that's witchcraft. You know what I mean? That's sorcery. That's like an enchantment. Ooh, something wiggly. Yeah, let me get it. That's all. You got it, bro.
That's why when you got these puppets of Israel that Esau, utilize, because, you know, Esau will put Jake in these positions where they are, out in the limelight. They'll give them all this money. And, therefore, as the scripture goes to, when the rich man speaks, the people listen. So Esau with his witchcraft, it's like Esau, like you're saying, he'll go to the woods, he'll put deer piss all over him to attract the deer.
Yep.
But in this case, Jake is the deer piss, man, who's attracting all these other people, man, to the murderous music, the degeneracy. He using Jake to pretty much destroy his own people, man. Scripture goes to John, was the 8th chapter. You are of your father, talking about Israelites, and the lust of your father you will do. So Jake, just to keep that particular power, the echelon, or however you want to put it, he will destroy his own people just to be able to keep a dollar in his pocket or keep that position, man.
Yeah, and pretty much, I know, like, for those of y'all that seen the movie, the Avatar, like, Edom can pretty much attempt to be like another nation just to get at them, I mean, and it's pretty much what he did to our people, man. Like, come down, stoop down on your level to just to seduce you. And that's what he did to other nations as well.
And that's an attribute of a cunning heart. This is Jeremiah. The camouflage. Yeah. Jeremiah 51:7. Further, Babylon has been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad.
If you're westernized, you're drunken. If you're a Moabite, a Elamite, a Hamite, if you accepted westernization, that's why we can't deal with our women. You can't talk to the average Eve. She's drunk. She's drunk off westernization.
That's the point. And that's it. You said that because when you go into that Hebrew term of man, it goes into act madly, act like a madman through the guise of westernization.
Yep. Because if your mind is westernized, you're out of sync with nature. You're out of tune with the cycles of the earth. All right.
You're out of your own.
You out of your birth control, and you waiting to be 60 years old before you settle down. That's bad. That's delusional. That's why, like Kevin Samuels would say, like a modern woman is delusional. All right. So if you're under any type of Western influence, you are mad. You're drunk. If you're alphabet gang, all those things, man. If you're a degenerate, if you're a nigga, you're drunken, man. All right.
Cognitive warfare. Woo! It refers to strategies and tactics aimed at influencing or disrupting the perceptions.
Hey, what do you got on YouTube? You have influencers. What is an influence? An influence is a stream of water. Like the stream rod goes into influence like a stream of water, and we're being poured into by way of the media.
I remember when I was younger, I had to go to this drug awareness class, traffic violation. Yeah. And the instructor in there, he asked a question. He said, so how much alcohol do you have to consume to be an alcoholic? So everybody was like, 6-pack a day, 2 6-packs, a fifth a day. And he was like, nah, all y'all wrong. He was like, when the alcohol starts having an effect on your life, that's when you become an alcoholic. Because everybody's tolerance is different.
Yeah.
So he said, whenever it starts to have an effect on your life, that's when you reach the stage of being an alcoholic. Damn. And and you see how Babylon has affected everybody's life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And then it's crazy because you said cognitive warfare. Cognitive affects what your thoughts, right? Cognitive warfare affects your thoughts. Perception goes into know. So where does your thoughts come from? Your spirit, which ultimately goes back to the subconscious. This man is cold.
Yeah.
Man.
Going back to brother say in Revelation 18, and Howard found the bodies to link with the. How I get about the chapter? You can break it down. But put up Revelation 18.
You got a definition of psychosis?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, this psychosis from the Free Dictionary. It says an acute or chronic mental state marked by loss of contact with reality.
Loss of contact with reality. Like you just said, delusion.
Yeah.
Like Esau got people really under a psychosis. You know,
American dream is a delusion.
Yeah.
Westernization is a delusion.
I don't need a man.
I don't need a
You're
man.
out
It's
of
a
touch with
delusion.
reality.
Right.
You do
Hey,
need a man.
Even the scripture talks about Thessalonians, I would choose a delusion. A delusion is a fixed idea about something that's not true. It's not true. And that's what makes you psychotic. When you're not in tune with reality.
That's why the late George Carlin, he stated about the American dream. You gotta be asleep in order to believe it. So what these people sleep off of? The American dream going to the westernization, anything that's outside your Howard Bashima shot, you're spiritually dead. So you really like it to the congregation of the dead. You know?
Yep.
So it says, this organized speech and behavior and often hallucinations or delusions seen in certain mental illnesses such as schizophrenia and other medical disorders.
And schizophrenia, that's what your thought process. That's what schizophrenia does. It's a thought disorder.
Basically, played with spirits, and that's what America, did. Yeah,
This is Revelation chapter 18, verse 13. And cinnamon, odors, ointment, frankincense, wine, and oil, fine flour, wheat, beasts, sheep, horses, chariots,
But speak about the different goods that are imported into America, man. You know? Go ahead, bro.
slaves, the souls of men.
And this was the trap to trap the other countries.
Yeah.
Making America, because remember, America used to be a strong manufacturing company. But by it sold out, this is how they entrap these other countries, man.
And the souls of men.
Souls of men. Like Esau has the minds of men. You know? That's why other nations come over here and their parents, might stick to their tradition away, but the next generation is gone. Because America, you're not built to endure the enchantments of America. So the only way we're here is because of Yahweh Hashem al-Shah. But no human is built for the enchantments of America in the midst of this. Even some of the Amish,
The younger generation get influenced off this shit. You know?
Even the older generation.
Yeah.
They be here for a little bit of time, and they start getting molded to the ways of America.
Grandma get a hold of TikTok.
So Revelation chapter 18, verse 13 again, he also bought cinnamon, white, incense, myrrh, frankincense, wine, oil.
America being constituted itself just to sleep with these other nations. To capture their souls.
America, the American policy. So America has allowed you to participate in global markets. You know, so these nations, it don't matter how much oil a nation has, what you gonna sell it with?
Like Cuba.
Yeah, it don't matter how much resources you got, what you gonna sell it? America got to allow you to sell your resources on the global market. That's the American infrastructure, these swift banking systems. Man. Yeah, bro.
Fine flour, wheat, sheep, horses, chariots, and bodies, that is, human slaves.
Hey, because if America got your mind, you're a slave to this shit. You know, you're a slave to your flesh. All right, what you got? Porn addiction, drug addiction, people addicted to social media, people addicted to attention, people addicted to going out, processed food. You know what I'm saying? Like if America has your mind, you're a slave to this shit. Till you destroy yourself. That's why women try to be young and independent forever. They're a slave to their lifestyle. Niggas are a slave. That's why niggas go in and out of prison, because they're a slave to a certain lifestyle. You know?
A lot. I'm sorry, give me that.
So one of the methods of cognitive warfare is psychological influence and behavioral manipulation. So it's techniques from psychology, like framing how information is presented to shape perceptions, emotional appeals, and priming exposure to certain stimuli to influence behavior.
Exposure to certain stimuli. Go ahead.
Nah, it's just like a lamb back. They do this through the media. You know, that like you said, the elders mentioning, figures, images. That's why image is so important. And, so that they push that, through you or to you through television programming. You know, whether it could be the TV or it could be the radio. You know, but mainly through them visuals, man. Like the other Captain Body was saying, that's what enchanted the nation to want to get over here. You know. You know what I'm saying? Them seeing those images, you know, like, like America was so great.
Well, I was driving I'm not gonna say a handbike, but somebody from Africa, he goes, Jake. And I was like, what's your thoughts on America? It's from a foreign perspective. He was like, America is really good at promoting itself.
Wow.
He was like, it's really good at make you think it's something when it's really not.
Social media.
Social media.
Average ease.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's another method. It's manipulating perceptions and beliefs. It says it seeks to manipulate how people perceive reality, often by spreading misinformation, propaganda, or selective information.
And what is it? What word is it defining?
It's cognitive warfare.
Cognitive warfare.
What they call fifth generation warfare. The warfare of information. You know, they got cooking. In Romans 6 and 16, don't you realize that you become the slave of whatever you choose to obey? You can be a slave to sin, which leads to death, or you can choose to obey the Most High, which leads to righteousness.
And it's too easy. At the end of the day, it's only too easy. Either you're going to worship the Most High or Satan. It all boils down to Yahweh Shem Shah or Satan.
Because America thrives on sin culture, man. You know? It's the empire of sin. You got to go.
It says targeting specific groups or individuals, which is another method. It says cognitive warfare often involves segmenting audiences to deliver tailored messages, which is possible through data analytics and insight from social media. Basically, you know, pushing that westernization through all forms. You know, social media. You know, and they gather going into. They study people, and they push, again, whatever, you know, captivates the mind of others that you want to hear.
Like you said, different categories of journals. The scriptures goes through the book of Psalm, how they diligent search, you know, how they hard to speak. They have different think tanks, and, you know, think for them, do the research for them.
That's why we call it the book, like Harvard, Yale. That's what it is to extrapolate and drill your mind of society to get them to keep forwarding the propaganda. Like these different major colleges, Stanford, Howard, this is what the elites find the thinkers, the leaders for the next generation. You know, so they pretty much extrapolate the 5% out of these major colleges to run the rest of the 95%, and they start being groomed up in college.
So Cambridge, Oxford,
Yale.
If I could just add too, and then that diligent search, when you think about these researchers like Sigmund Freud, Erik Erikson, B.F. Skinner, all of them study all of them study the conscious or the spirit in some form of way to further the agenda of Esau.
And this devil, through his propaganda, he has been able to make the minority seem like the masses. You know, because you look at it when NWA first came out, how many niggas did we know that were like Easy? You know what I'm saying? In 85. Right. But then you fast forward 10 years later, that's the norm. That's the norm. You know, so he knows how to make the minority seem like the majority until it's actually the majority, man.
Yeah, like I'm driving through this tailgate in the end of a football game. All Eve was half naked.
Yep.
All Eve was wearing shorts up to here, and it was all about 200 pounds, and it was just all heavy thighs. Like, but I would say in the 70s Eve wasn't like that. In the 80s Eve wasn't like that. You know, it is all Eve just had to have their skin out. You know.
If I could just add, you had this nigga by the name of B.F. Skinner. I was just telling the priest, he was so cold, he had a dog. So what he did with the dog was he would pair a bell every time he fed the dog because he wanted the dog to salivate without seeing the plate of food. So over a process of time, the dog became conditioned, and when he rang the bell, the dog would salivate without even seeing the fucking food. And this is the same thing with our people. This is how deep this man get, man.
Yeah.
He studies the spirit.
He's a psychologist.
He's a psychologist.
That's why we believe, I believe myself, that the Israelite man is Esau's Frankenstein. We're his Frankenstein. When they wrote their book, Frankenstein, that was specifically for the Israelite man. That's why Jordan Peele made that movie Get Out. Just to psychologically get out of the sorcery of America. Because Jacob has been Esau's experiment for the longest. Like the NBA young boys, the Dirks, the Vons, those are little Frankensteins that he wants us to imitate. The sexy reds and the Cardi B's, the Gorillas, those are the female Frankensteins. See, he wants you to be a lifeless little primitive thing, man.
And you think about that character Frankenstein, he was made like our bones. You know, think about when Ezekiel, about those dry bones. That's definitely Esau's project.
That gives another method of the cognitive warfare. It says it's influencing collective memory and identity. It says it can target historical narrative and collective memory.
And going back to your identity, what you identify with, they control your actions. That's right. So niggas identify with street niggas, so their actions imitate street niggas, and they get the street nigga results. Okay? These women, most of these women, they identify as single mothers before they become single mothers. They identify with their ratchet shit, okay? Or Miss Independent or some boss legal shit. They identify with that, so they control their action, they get the same result. You know? It's a precept with our enemy.
Jeremiah 17:4. And you, even yourself, shall discontinue from your heritage.
Hey, because you said that Bruce Lee talking about breaking that image. And that's what the truth doing, is breaking those images that were set before us, man. You know? Because our behavior was controlled by particular images given to us, you know, through witchcraft. But the truth breaks those images. Get down the storm, man.
But you know, back in the day, man, our women took pride in the way they looked, man. They wanted to be covered up. They wanted to look moderate. They wanted to be, you know what I'm saying, respected. Or being respected when they go about their day, because what, they didn't want to have no, even the ones that were married didn't want to, you know, make their husband look bad out there walking around and everything. And then the ones that wasn't married, they wanted to look, you know, presentable where a man would want to take them on, man. But now, you know what I'm saying, there's no room for imagination, because like brother said, everything is out there, man. Everything is ass, titties, and skin, man.
Yeah, that's how you know this has to be the last generation. You know?
We'll finish it off. Back in Jeremiah 17:4, and I will cause you to serve your enemies in the land which you know not, for you have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever.
Which means burn for a long time, you know, a long period of time. And you see it because we're still suffering under the curses, man. You know, the point Elder Z had made before, you know, through the Spirit, it's how this was their captivity. The Lord was really gonna make us feel it, you know. You know, so that's his anger burning, man. When you have to constantly look around you and you see the behavior of our people, well, that's how we know 2/3 of our people are slated for death. You know, they slated for the sword. Ain't no you can do with them. You can't they can't be rebooted, so to speak. They're part of the program, and you gotta just let go of them.
You know, sports with a broken leg, man. You know, you gotta put him down. He's worthless after this. He can't do you no good.
They notice like 2/3 of our people like those to fix in their assembly lines. What you gotta do is you gotta toss them away.
Because I'm sorry.
No, so that's why the scripture goes to by calling them dross. It's like that unwanted material.
Yeah, because Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua wants to get the metal out. But in order to get that metal out, you got to get rid of that dross. The 2/3, like you were saying, that's the dross of our people. They're going to get cast into the fire. They're throwaways. Because your nation is like a manufacturing facility. And it's supposed to manufacture Israelite families. But if you got a preacher talking about abortion, and a nigga talking about body count, you know, murdering people, unaliving people, those are defects.
Yeah.
Burn them in the furnace.
Big recall.
Yeah, it's going to be a big-ass recall. Recall to the spirit world.
All right.
This is Jeremiah 5 verse 28. They are waxing fat. They shine gay. They overpass the deeds of the wicked. They judge not the cause. They cause the fathers, yet they prosper. And the right of the needy do they not judge.
Yeah. You know, the average Jake listen to Steve Harvey morning show. What he gonna tell you? That's right. His wife ain't shit. How he gonna tell you how to do anything? You know, but that's their little figure. That's one of their little puppet leaders, Mr. Potato Head. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, teach them how to run off on the floor, how to hit a lick and all this. They teach you how to become worse and worse and worse to your own nation, basically unto your own self.
See, one thing that our people was missing up until the prophets came was a standard. So how can you determine if something is right or wrong if you don't have a standard? So Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai gave us a standard to gauge, because we was all victims of ethnocentricity. If you look up the word ethnocentricity, it means that you gauge someone else's culture by the standards and rules of your culture, all right? Or you believe the way it is in your culture, America, is superior than the way it is, say, overseas. But the Most High gave us our heritage back. Now we have the luxury to gauge America and other cultures off the standards of our heritage. Now we know LGBTQ is wrong, 2 women is wrong. We know pork is wrong. We know what the expectation of a man is supposed to be. We know the expectation of a woman is supposed to be. We know the life count of an Israelite man.
The responsibility that comes with sex.
What's the purpose of sex? The responsibilities of sex. You cover from head to toe. You know, this is like when we first started going through the frequencies. Now the Lord had brought forth the prophets. Now there's a righteous and spiritual frequency going out, man. That should, you know what I'm saying, alter the people, man. But it's only gonna happen if how about you outside dealing with it. Hey, that 777 frequency. I'm just putting that number out there. I don't know, but the healing frequency, man.
All right. This Galatians 6:16 in NLT. May Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua's peace and mercy be upon all who live by this principle. They are the new people of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua.
And add this way for most people. You know what I'm saying? Like when we really start to live this thing, we begin to produce peace in our life.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we're not living abroad, like you said, we're not living based on niggas standards. When you're living trying to impress niggas, man, this is a stressful life. When you're living trying to be the standard for evil life, it's a stressful life, man. You know, or just the American dream, or even what your mother wants you to be. Like when you break away from that shit and start living according to the scriptures, then you got a network of men that's doing the same thing, man. It's peace.
Yeah,
Peace,
and then with the Heavenly Father, it's one way. It's just one way, and it's simplified. Like you said, you know, with Eve, you know, in street culture, like you got to keep changing it.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, keeping up with the Joneses, so to speak.
You can get this last round of school.
I got something for you. To hold this for a minute. Let the mighty man get it out. All right, this is in the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 59, and here we go. Verse 21. Now, to clarify, it's going to when we change the old covenant, but the wording is going to remind you of our heritage. Like the elder was getting into, our ways passed down orally. And you saw Edom hack that, you know. Originally, we had it down, you know. Isaiah chapter 59, verse 21 says this, and by the way, this is in the in American translation, the complete Bible. It says, "Is the oracle of the Lord as for me? This is my covenant with you, says the Lord, Yahweh Yahushai. My spirit which is upon you, and my words which I have put in your mouth shall not depart from your mouth, nor from the mouth of your offspring, nor from the mouth of your offspring, says the Lord, Yahweh Yahushai, from henceforth, even forever."
That true generational wealth. Because it begins with the wisdom. You know, going back into the beginning of the lesson, how our heritage was passed down.
Right.
The wisdom was passed down along with those material things. Those tangible inheritance was more important than the tangible inheritance. Right? Because the intangible helps you what? To live from the tangible. Right? You know?
Romans 11:33. Oh, the depth of the riches, both of the wisdom and knowledge of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua. How unsearchable are his judgments and his ways past finding out.
The greatest thing you could be is a vessel of wisdom. The greatest thing you could be in Israel is a judge, a prophet. You're a prophet. But we have a history book full of riches, man. It's been documented. The book of Sirach. It was passed down from Sirach to Jesus to Sirach Jr. per se. You know, the grandson. If I'm
Was
not,
it Jesus, Sirach, then Jesus?
I,
The grandson, the grandfather had the same
they
name.
had the same name, nonetheless. But we got the book of Sirach. The book of Prime Person got all.
3 generations of wisdom.
3 generations of wisdom, man. Don't you understand? We're supposed to be developed, like raised off this. Just imagine who you would be by the time you're 19 if you was raised off this, man. You know, like the Israelite man is not supposed to be a little degenerate, man. The Israelite woman is not supposed to be a harlot. That's you don't have to try to be a harlot. You don't have to put effort into taking your clothes off. You don't have to put effort into being a nigga. That's easy. That's light work. No, you have to be developed into being a prince. This rule book, it developed, but thou art rich. Thou art rich, man. You know? Hey, what's up, bro?
Now, listen, just look how this knowledge has transformed our minds just in the few years we've been in this. So just imagine we're just growing into this by being born into this, man.
Bro, it's so rich. I'm sorry, brother. It's so rich that another race of people is wearing our cultural clothing. Another race of people are calling themselves the chosen. Another nation of people, I'm sorry, is calling themselves the chosen. That shows you who has the real juice. Because they drinking our juice. Like what that movie say, what they say, you got the juice now, Bishop. You know? We got the juice now.
And they stole the juice.
They stole the juice, man.
And they stole it, they still don't got it.
They still don't got it, man. Drinking it all wrong and shit, man. You know? That Cinderella slipper was only meant for that virtuous woman, man.
Yeah, because it's not fitting, y'all. No, wait, there you go. Kevin Sajuan, I know the brother, you talking about that movie, Troy. You know, pretty much when you look at Edom, it's like, man, this is your king? Like look what this man doing. You know, he destroyed the whole earth, but now you're being found out, you know? And then like I say in the book of the prophet Jeremiah, because we approaching this part of prophecy, where there should dwell in Judah itself. You know, you staking claim to, you know, being us into our land, but that fits our people. That's our heritage. You know?
How can the king not be comfortable on his throne? This man's supposed to be the king of the earth at this time frame, but he's not comfortable, man. You feel like he's living off a stolen identity. You know, his kingdom is crumbling. You know, the prophets have been sent forth to even ring in his ear even more. You know, Yahweh Shemi outside, you know, Yahweh visiting the earth, the wars and rumors of wars, everything that the Bible speaking on is happening, man. So this man called himself a ruler sitting on the throne, but he can't get comfortable, man.
Hey, exactly, man. Hey, he about to lose this, man. Because it's not like Edomite that's a spiritual guy, right? I mean, you know, the elites know who we are and what it means when they see us out here. You know. Like that Shout It Out song. They know. Hey, but with that, we hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, we would like to give our honor and glory to double underscore elder, apostles, elder, bishops of great millstone, we well. Peace and blessings, health and wellness to the Alpha David the elect. Baba. Shalom.
Wow. Shalom.